Hi, writers. Today we're going to get started and we're going to talk more today about reading our own writing like readers do. So we're going to practice looking at our own writing and reading it like we would like a book in our classroom. We're going to read our own writing today. So let's see what Lisa has to say about that today.
Hi, writers. Welcome back to today's writing workshop. So, writers, I wanted to share something with you. I have been sharing a lot of the stories and the books that I'm writing with my family members. Do you guys do that also? And can I tell you something I noticed? I noticed that when I'm reading my writing, I do a ton of things I do when I'm reading my books during reading workshop. I bet some of you are noticing that also. So today I wanted to teach you that writers go from being the writer to the reader. When they reread their writing, they read it just as if they were reading their published books. And sometimes, if the writer hears a mix up, they stop and they fix it right there. So, writers, let's think together about some of the things that we do as readers during reading workshop. I'm going to think aloud about some of the things I do. And if you do them also, you can give me a thumbs up. So let's see. When I'm reading, I know. I look at the pictures. You guys do that too? Awesome. When I'm reading during reading workshop, I know. I point underneath the words. Thumbs up? Yeah. You guys, I bet, do that also. I know sometimes when I'm reading, I ask myself a question like, does that make sense? Yeah, I see some of you are putting your thumbs up. You guys are asking yourselves that question too. Does that make sense? Hmm. Another thing I do is when I'm reading and I hear a mess up, I fix those parts. Some thumbs are up. Yep, thumbs are coming up. You guys stop and you fix those parts when you hear a mess up too, right? So, writers, right now, I thought maybe we can try this. I have a story that I finished, and I thought you guys can practice with me and watch as I go from being a writer to a reader. And maybe you want to read along with me. So I'm going to right now share one of my stories about going sledding with my brother. And as I'm reading my story, I'm going to try really hard to do all the things that we know readers do. And you guys can look at the pictures along with me and point to the words with me and ask yourself the same question. Does that make sense? And help me maybe fix up some of those parts. Are you guys ready to get started? Okay. So I know I always look at the picture, so I want to make sure, right? There's me and my brother on the hill when we were going sledding. Let me make sure I point under the words. One snowy day, I went sledding with my brother. Make sense? Yeah. Makes sense with the pictures. Okay, let's keep going. Look at the pictures. There's me, my brother. It's giving me a push. Get your pointing fingers ready. We went to the top of the hill and my brother gave me a big push. I went faster, faster. Huh? Let's ask ourselves, does that make sense? I went faster, faster? No, I think we found a mess up. So what I wanted to say was I went faster and faster. So let me fix that up. Let me add that word "and" there. So that, let's go back and reread it. Let's check again. Does it make sense, right? I went faster and faster. Yeah, getting that push and going faster and faster down that hill. So writers, did you see how when I was trying to read my writing, I was reading it like I read the books in my book baggies during reading workshop. I looked at the pictures, I pointed under the words, I asked myself, does this make sense? And then I fixed up some parts. So, writers, a few days ago, we learned the saying, when you're done, you've just begun. And we learned that when writers finish their books, they can go back and look at the pictures and ask things like who, or what, or how, or why. And then they could put the answers to those questions inside of their writing. Today, we learned another thing that writers can do when they're done. They can go from being a writer to being a reader. They can go back and reread their stories just like they do during reading workshop, looking at the pictures and pointing under the words and thinking, does this make sense? And then fixing up some parts. So I bet some of us are going to be finishing up stories today, writers. And just remember, when you're done, you've just begun. You might go back and look at the pictures and ask some questions to add more. Or you might go back today and try to go from being a writer to a reader and reading your book just like you would a published book. Are you guys ready to get started? I'll see you all tomorrow.
Okay, writers. Today you're going to write another small moment story for me or for your teacher. And when you're done, I want you to go back and read your own writing. I want you to become a reader of your own writing. I want you to read by looking at the pictures. I want you to look at your words. I want you to point to each word. I want you to say, does this make sense? If not, how can I fix my story? How can I make it better? Did you include feelings? Put all that stuff in there. Read it to yourself or read it to mom or to dad or to grandma or to a brother or sister. Okay? So go ahead and do another small moment story today. And when you're done, reread your own writing. All right, you're off, writers.